Factory farm is a large industrial operation that raises large numbers of animals for food. Over 99% of farm animals in the United States are raised in factory farms. On these factory farms, thousands of animals are crammed into dirty warehouses and shoved into wire cages, metal crates, and other torturous devices. According to Farm Sanctuary, poor sanitation and poor management of animal waste can lead to the contamination of food by bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella. Each year, 76 million Americans become ill from foodborne illnesses and thousands die. In order to reduce this, the unnecessary administration of antibiotics in feed and water systems should be prohibited. This would force farmers to treat animals individually for illnesses. Factory farms that are not properly maintained and taken care of can be big breeding grounds for Salmonella and E. coli, which are passed to humans through meat, dairy, and eggs. In order to help these unsanitary conditions, these animals are fed large doses of antibiotics, but bacteria are constantly adapting and evolving. The antibiotic abuse that the animals receive creates potential for dangerous new drug-resistant strains of bacteria to develop and could potentially spread from these animals to people that consume the meat. Although this may sound like a huge problem with these factory farms, it's not the only problem. Another major issue with factory farms causes issues with people, but also causes big problems with the environment, is the waste runoff from the farms. Typically on regular farms, animal waste is recycled by using it as manure, but on factory farms they are unable to keep up with this because of large amounts of animals in a small confined area. What they do on factory farms in order to get rid of the large amounts of animal waste is they store it in liquefied forms in open air holding pits. The liquefied animal waste is taken from these pits, which are also known as lagoons, and is sprayed over nearby lands. These lagoons are sealed and protected with earth embankments in order to help protect from leaks and spills. There have been many problems with leaks and overflows. If the lagoon starts to leak, it can cause the liquefied waste to seep into groundwater, and overflows, which are caused by excessive rain, can make the waste go flowing into nearby lakes and rivers. These lagoons have also been known to kill people. According to Stop Factory Farms, between 1992 and 1997, at least 12 workers died due to asphyxiation from manure gases and drowning while being trapped in these manure lagoons. The Environment Protection Agency says that because animal waste is not treated like human waste, feed additives and antibiotics that have been fed to the animals is also released into the environment. They also state that there are about 29 million pounds of antibiotics that are added to animal feed every year to help speed the growth of livestock, and these antibiotics are released into the environment along with animal waste. Animal waste has polluted 35,000 miles of rivers in 22 states. On the opposing side, factory farming is inexpensive. Since the use of factory farming came into play, the prices of food has dropped drastically. The main reason for this is because food is being processed and produced at much faster rates by employing efficient processes. The methods that are used to manufacture meat and eggs involve cheaper and faster processes, which also reduce the cost. Factory farming also takes very little amount of time to market. This is because there have been significant advancements in methods of food processing, production, preservation, packaging, and delivery. This means that the food will be delivered to the market and grocery stores faster than they have ever been. Finally, factory farms can offer a lot of job opportunities. This is because factory farming involves large operations and there is a need for a lot of people to work on them. So it definitely offers a bunch of job opportunities to places that are desperately in need of help. But none of this matters if these farms are crawling with Salmonella and E. coli. Like I said before, 76 million Americans become sick from foodborne illnesses each year, and thousands of people end up dying. That is a risk we cannot take. There are obviously many problems with the way factory farms run things. But what are some ways we can prevent some of these issues from happening? One solution that could potentially help with the waste runoff would be to not allow imports of genetically modified feed and require that farmers produce at least half of their animal feed on their own farms. This would take out the imbalances in nutrition and would also no longer need the manure to be transported for long distances. Instead, farmers could use this manure to fertilize their land and produce feed. A solution that could help with the antibiotic is that the antibiotics in the feed and water systems should be banned. This would force farmers to treat their animals individually for illnesses. According to Christine Chemnitz from the World Economic Forum, many states have now started to ban certain cruel practices such as extreme methods of confinement and docking of cow tails. Being an individual who has been directly affected by tainted food, I'm a strong believer in enforcing and abiding by certain laws that could potentially save lives of many. Poor sanitation and poor management of animal waste can lead to the contamination of food by bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella. Right now, I believe factory farming causes more harm than good.